This weekend, wrestling fans are going to have four wrestling pay-per-views to choose from, and whether you are attending one of these four events or you're attending multiple events, which in the case of the one I'm going to talk about is going to be really, really difficult if you want to attend any of the others unless you have the teleportation device that you stole from me. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find how you stole my device, and I'm going to get you as soon as I can figure out how to build a replica. But before I want to build a replica teleportation device, I've got to talk about the fact that Globe Life Field is going to be a rockin'. It's going to be a roaring. There's going to be 25,000 plus fans that are going to be ready to witness one hell of a packed card. I mean, literally packed. There are a lot of people and a lot of matches and some storylines that could hopefully be paid off well. And, well, if they're not, it's certainly going to be interesting to see how dejected the crowd is. But if they're paid off right, man oh man, it's going to be quite memorable. Let's talk about what could happen, shall we? I'm John with them on my AEW All In Texas 2025 predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments, please. And I want to say right now, I will not be watching this live because it's on early as far as Saturday goes for me, and I will be working till about 3 p.m. my time. Obviously not 3 p.m. anyone else's time, for I live in the Pacific Northwest on Pacific, Coast time. So basically, or Pacific Standard Time as it were. So I will be probably watching this sometime after Saturday night's main event by the time I get home from work. I will get to it and I will review the stuff as quickly as I can, as well as I can. That's just your fair warning in case you don't see an All In Texas review until probably sometime late Saturday, early Sunday. So that being said, I am talking about this before Collision, and in part because Collision's probably going to have a few matches added to the pre-show. So let's talk about the main show. 8 matches as of very early Thursday morning. We have Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with MVP against Nick Wayne with Shayna Wayne and Kip Sabian, and Christian Cage as Nick's partner against Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and, the Jet Kevin Knight, as well as Speedball Mike Bailey. 3-way AEW tag title match. So I'm going to say right now the Hurt Syndicate better win. I'll tell you why they better win. This is all due respect to Nick Wayne. I love Nick Wayne. What a talent. He's already a champion. I believe he's still the Ring of Honor TV champion. Do we really want to give Christian the tag team championship when Copeland's coming back? And I think they're going to want to go with that. They're probably going to go with something where Christian Cage is going to be kicked out of his own group, and then he's going to turn into a pseudo face, where him and Copeland are going to end up teaming up and beating up FTR, and then eventually going after the tag titles. God, they'll probably do that at WrestleDream. Watch them actually do that. That would be pretty ridiculous. Nevertheless, the Hurt Syndicate better win. I mean, nothing against Jet Knight, Kevin Knight, and nothing against Speedball Mike Bailey as a person, but I'm sorry. The Hurt Syndicate, despite the fact that Lashley had his knee taken out and Shelton was laid out and MVP was laid out, even though he wouldn't let go of the cane because he can't believe that somebody would do this to him, the Hurt Syndicate have to win. They have to win. And I would say Speedball should take the pin. I could see them making Nick take the pin. And then Christian gets upset. And then we just get that blow up, if not there on television. So there you are. The Hurt Syndicate are going to win. Please, for the love of God, let the Hurt Syndicate win. Okay, Men's Casino Battle Royal. Now, they're going to just add random participants and stuff like that. They've talked about Brody King and others are in this if they're able to get out there when their number appears. Because once the first 2 men are in, this thing could end at any point. And the first 2 men are MJF and Mark Briscoe. I'm going to go with I'm going to say this much. If we have a title switch, then we have a title switch in the main event. MJF is winning would make the most sense. If we have a retaining, then Mark Briscoe may end up getting the nod, which will negate the world title shot and will make it completely pointless because we know Mark Briscoe is not going to win. I want to see MJF win because I want at least to see a chance of the Hurt Syndicate having more gold. Thing is, I don't think MJF's going to win it anytime soon. And I think him and Mark Briscoe are going to have a feud. So we could end up having a wild card, bitches. I think MJF's going to win. But I could definitely see them pulling a shock. But MJF winning would make the most sense. Now, the Women's Casino Battle Royal. Statlander or Willow, I guess. I mean, you could have Megan Mayne win it if Tony ends up retaining. Megan Bayne could eventually, go for revenge and actually beat Tony this time and win the title. I don't know if Megan Bayne's necessarily ready at this point, but Willow and Statlander would make the most sense, but then they're kind of having a pseudo, issue where Statlander feels disrespected and Willow's getting too much attention, stuff like that, and God forbid if they ever join the Death Rider, it's going to be fucking stupid. But I'm going with either of those two. I mean, okay, one of three. Willow would be a good choice. I think Statlander, let's just have Statlander do it, but I could see them giving it to Megan Bayne. I'll go Statlander. So, we then get to Kyle Fletcher versus Adam Cole for the TNT title. For the love of God, give it to Kyle Fletcher. Just have Kyle Fletcher win. Nothing against Adam Cole. I wish him nothing but the best as far as his health. Kyle Fletcher needs to get the nod. He needs to be the champion. This is July. Have him at least hold it until Revolution. Have him continue to defend it. Have him just do well with it. Because he should have a long reign. And then maybe you eventually push him towards the AEW World Championship. Either him or Takeshita. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't actually mind seeing Takeshita win the casino battle, or the men's casino battle royal, but I don't think that him with a title shot would mean anything, as cool as it would be. Kyle Fletcher needs to beat Adam Cole for the TNT title, for the love of God. The whole thing with Adam Cole as champion has not been good, because Adam Cole is just, bless him, it's just not happening anymore. So, here we go with Swerve and Ospreay against the Bucks, the Founding Fathers. Whatever. They're about as, legit as the false teeth of George Washington. So, the EVP status of the Bucks is up, along with a title shot for a year for Swerve and Ospreay. Basically, if Swerve and Ospreay lose, they can't challenge for the world title for a year. If the Bucks lose, they're stripped of their EVP status, which I don't think anybody actually believes. But the only way this makes sense for Swerve and Ospreay to win is them not being able to challenge for the world title pretty much would knock Ospreay out of having a shot at the world title at Forbidden Door, which, by the way, is in London at the O2 next month. Yeah, is it next month? It is. That would be the only saving grace for this. And Swerve also, yes, he destroyed the limo, and let's be honest, nobody really wants to see the Bucks anymore. The Bucks could vanish from this program. The Bucks could never wrestle on this program again. And the company would be better for it. Wrestling would be better for it. They can't really move anymore. They get less and less of a reaction every time they show up. It's like an outbreak of syphilis that nobody really wants to pay any fucking attention to. Except syphilis actually could eat something. I don't think the Bucks actually could eat anybody for lunch if they were offered right in front of them. Because I don't even think that they would be smart enough to know how cannibalism works. What am I talking about? I don't fucking know, because the Bucks just do not deserve what they have been paid by Tony Khan, because they have not been beneficial to this company since 2021. I mean, brawl out aside, name the last good thing that the Bucks have done. The stuff with the Death Triangle. By the way, 2 of those 3 are in WWE, and at least they seem to be, having a little bit more fun there, and the merchandising's a whole lot better. God, if only there was a way to merchandise mask guys. Nevertheless, the Bucks need to lose here. Swerve and Ospreay winning would be the best, because if the Bucks win, okay, then you don't have Swerve and Ospreay as far as getting a world title shot, which would kind of just destroy the Forbidden Door main event. And then what else do you do? So the Swerve and Ospreay got to get the victory. Just the Bucks, whatever. Anyway, Omega and Okada for the winner-takes-all unified championship match. Except Tony Khan has said that the Continental Classic is still going to go on. The Continental title and the International title are not going away. He was very confused on that media call. Now, I really hope that he just misspoke, because we just need to have the unified championship, eliminate 2 championships, Human Centipede them together into one. If we're going to keep all the belts, what's the point? Stop trying to make a Triple Crown happen, Tony. For the love of God, you are not All Japan. None of these guys are the 4 pillars. And that's coming from somebody with a just surface knowledge of All Japan. Anyway, Kenny Omega has to get the victory. I think they're going to go all out as much as they can at this point with the injuries and the fact that just over 7 years rather, which would be 7+, just over 7 years after their terrific 2 out 3 falls match, no time limit, at Dominion in Osaka. That was 2018. And they're going to do some good stuff. Keep the interference to a fucking minimum. But Okada has to lose here. He's had the Continental Championship long enough. He doesn't need to keep holding it. And Omega needs this big win. And then they're actually tied. Omega actually would have 3 victories. They could have Okada win, but that would be really stupid. I think it just needs to be Omega getting this victory. And then Okada could go away for a bit and then come back and maybe motivated, because this is probably the only match we're going to see him motivated in. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné, AEW Women's Championship. I'm going to say right now, this is what I want to happen. I want Toni Storm to win. This is what unfortunately I think is going to happen. I think Mercedes is going to win. And then they're going to try to recreate the J-Crown thing where, Ultimo Dragon was holding up all those belts. Here's the difference. Ultimo Dragon had fucking charisma and put on exciting matches. Mercedes is as back as she can be in the ring, but she's fake. She's phony whenever she talks. And she's probably going to win. And it's going to be stupid. It's going to really be bad because all these titles are going to mean nothing. She could end up losing these championships and going in the goddamn hole and going into, on a losing streak. I would see if Willow wins the women's gauntlet, then I'd be for her. I'd be for Mercedes winning, because then you could have Willow beat Mercedes and actually give the championship to somebody worthy that actually talks like a human being. But I just fear Mercedes is going to win. I just fear she will. I hope I'm wrong. Just like I hope I'm wrong about the main event. What I assume is the main event. Hangman Adam Page vowing to take the World Championship from Jon Moxley. A Texas death match. Every bit of interference is going to happen in this goddamn thing. We are going to have Gabe Kidd. We're going to have people parachuting into the goddamn ring. Like that episode of The Simpsons where Moe rescued Homer from the fight with not Mike Tyson. And we're going to have the Death Rider show up. We're probably going to have Swerve and Ospreay show up. We're probably going to have everybody goddamn show up. And we're going to have so much goddamn bullshit going on that I hope that they have more space cleared around the goddamn ring. Which means Yuza's going to show up, which means I'm going to wonder if the ghost of Lee Harvey Oswald is anywhere around. But I just don't understand why in the world we have to do a Texas death match just because we're in Texas. This is what needs to happen. Now, they've kept saying that Hangman vows to take the championship. He better take the championship. Because if he doesn't, Tony Khan might as well just say, any of that goodwill that I built up with you guys is going to go right down the shitter. Because this Moxley stuff has been terrible. I said at the end of my Dynamite review, I was there at Wrestle Dream 2024 for the beginning of this title reign. It has been trash since. It has not gotten any better. Tony Khan has had multiple chances to pivot away from this, and he has refused to. This is not built. Moxley isn't this unstoppable monster. He's this boring-ass piece of shit that can't fucking wrestle or doesn't want to fucking wrestle. He's the worst champion they've had of at least the last 2 years, which is saying something because Chris Jericho as the Ring of Honor champion exists. But there is no justification for how bad Moxley has just plagued this television program. Has just plagued it. Marina Shafir, who really just needs to go home and take care of her kids or work indies. Do something other than be on a big stage. Claudio's a waste. Pac, his ankle is, twisted around like Joe Theismann's leg was all bent up. And Wheeler Yuta needs to be sitting in the goddamn crowd with the fans. Even then they'd say, get a haircut, you fucking idiot. I think Moxley's going to win. I will not relent on the fact that I don't think that Tony Khan understands just how much he has pissed the fans off. Nobody likes this Jon Moxley run. I mean, if you do, fine, but I have not found that many people that do. I think Moxley's going to win. I think it's going to send the crowd home deflated, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope Hangman wins it. But what I fear is they're still going to drag this out to Wrestle Dream, and Darby is going to beat Jon Moxley, win the world title, but by then, it'll be too fucking late. Maybe Darby shows up during this whole damn thing. Maybe Bryan Danielson shows up and costs Jon Moxley the thing, and we build up to a match at Forbidden Door, or whatever. Just, even though Bryan Danielson said he retired because of his neck and whatever and stuff like that, but just, Hangman better win. He better. He won't, and I want to be wrong. But that's all I got to say about that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rittland. Until we meet again, happy trails to you.